We are tight. Yeah. This is a brotherly love thing. I like this stuff. I like this tightness though. I'm clear here. I'm clear here. I'm clear here. So we're gonna clap sync on 3. 1, 2, 3. Good, good.
This is the first time they worked in unison because we had all dudes.
I didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, this is like the lights, camera, action. We live right now.
We my nose?
Yeah. That's the blooper reel. That's the blooper reel. That's what we like doing. We like catching people off guard. Like we'll ask people questions. So we got to put you on blast right now. What's the name of the show?
The Identity.
He got on the first try. Everybody. We got 2 celebrities in the house. Now, we have finally made it back into the booth, and it has been a minute.
Feels like a booth.
It does. Like we tight in, but that's okay because we're all about inclusion, and we want to make sure that we identify with everybody. So, as is natural, we back on the booth. Thank you guys so much for the love and support we got for the mental awareness. Mental health is very important to us. We got a lot of love from that. We also got a lot of support from people throughout the community reaching out to us, talking to us about how important it is for not only people to speak on mental health, but to be able and comfortable to talk about it. And that was something Eric really wanted to do. So thank you guys so much for the love and support on that video. Really means a lot to us. But we're here to talk about health now.
Yes.
We talk about physical health. You feel me? So I'm bringing to the booth today 2 wonderful gentlemen. One of these lovely gentlemen definitely went to school with me and enjoyed having him surprise, coming down the line, Duplechain. The Skywalker himself. And Jazz, we got you in the booth as well. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, it's me, Hero, your host, and co-host Eric on the 1s and 2s. We are at N.W.A, correct? And what's the address of this joint?
It is 5000 Rowlett Road, Unit 105, and that's in Rowlett, Texas, 75088.
Yeah, he put bass in his voice. Y'all hear that? Yeah. He got his sexy voice on. This is going to be a great show. And today we're going to be talking about ownership, health, self-identification, and just your ability to build. So it's really great to have us here. We got the shakes front and center. Eric, talk about how great that shake was, though.
Y'all look at that color, bro. When y'all seen a shake this color, this is key lime pie, and yes, it does taste like key lime pie.
I was shocked myself. I was like, he said he had pecans. Bro, I was like, damn.
It tastes like a graham cracker crust and some lime. It's yo. I've had it for like 30 minutes, and I only drank this a little so y'all can see it. But me and Hero, we would have crushed it.
We would have crushed. I'm saving it for you guys. You can see me sweating because I'm thirsty. Like my mouth is watering. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about some things that we need to know and some things we don't need to know. So, why y'all here? Y'all here right now? How did y'all get here?
Yeah.
How did we get here as N.W.A. or how did even before
I mean, I know how you got here. Your parents got you here, but I want to know. Like, I'm assuming that I'm a novice because I still work for the man technically. Okay. So you are independent. This is your joint. You ain't answering to nobody. You had to answer to somebody at some point.
So
you had a job. Yeah. Like, tell us how you got here. Like, what made you want to do this?
So, for me, it actually started 9 years ago. I was tired of being a scrawny, pudgy kid, and I grew up that way. Nothing ever really changed because I didn't really know much about nutrition. My parents were great, but were never taught about nutrition. Of course, we're never taught about that in school or any of those things. So, when you grow up in a little East Texas town and cheese toast is for breakfast and you've got, microwavable burritos for dinner, that's just kind of what Little Debbie's for snacks and Dr. Pepper for your hydration. That's just kind of what happens. And so, by the time I got into college, I was waiting tables. I was in a fraternity, so a lot of unhealthy habits are very common inside of that.
Puffing my smokes and sipping my wine.
Yeah, and so I was tired of looking like that. A buddy of mine I waited tables with had started selling this Herbalife product to be able to make some extra cash, and he invited me to a nutrition club, kind of like what we got here at N.W.A. Try a shake and tea, do a wellness profile, talk about nutrition. I found out that day I was a little shorter and fatter than I thought I was. So I know I always thought I was like at least like 5'6". I put 5'7" on my
and
driver's license.
I'm a novice. What does N.W.A stand for?
Oh, nutrition with attitude.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Hey, what about, and so that's how you ended up getting into, you basically saw somebody's idea and you said to yourself, I can do this?
Yeah, well, for me, it was a little bit of a slower, coming to that moment for myself. Like, I really just wanted to, get my health in check. I lost 15 pounds. I put on 8 pounds of muscle. I felt really great, had energy, quit falling asleep in class. And about 6 months into the deal of watching my buddy help other people while we waited tables, and then him actually quit the service industry to go do this health coaching thing full time, that's what got my attention, because I don't know about any of y'all, but if you ever waited tables, you probably wanted to quit. He did.
That shit sucked.
And so I was like, man, how'd you do that? Because I wasn't interested until he did that. And that's what got me to go take a look. Met another dude that had, quit waiting tables and was able to become a full-time health coach with a nutrition club. And that's where it kind of started for me. And I started up part-time in college, and then...
And like, that's like utterly amazing, because it talks about what self-preservation, and first and foremost, and your own like ideology to want to survive, like surpassing, because you can survive waiting tables, but like when you want to grow or enrich yourself, that takes like a certain level of stamina, right? Am I like, that's the mental intelligence? But I know,
because we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
And especially with guys, we were talking about like how guys are checking out of college and deciding to become entrepreneurs. I think like, especially our generation decided like, I don't want to work for anybody else my whole life. I want to get out here. I want to do something for myself. I want to make my own lane and do my own thing and answer to myself at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's so much opportunity out here just with social media and the internet.
Definitely.
Period, that people are wanting to kind of build their own lives.
and like, and I went to college with you, so like we bled together, we cried together, and we've definitely done 101 up downs together. So tell me, like, when we left college, and I mean, this ain't no diss. I love my alma mater, but people go to college, and me and Eric were talking about this. People go to college to pay for degrees that they can never pay back. That wasn't your objective. So you left school and you just branched out. I didn't hear from you a while. Next thing I know, I'm walking in here with a shirt and tie, and you got your name on something. And I was like, this is incredible.
Right.
And it was also motivation. So tell me the steps you took. What made you want to turn this into what it is today?
All right. So, I mean, once we left Pine Bluff, it didn't happen just like that. So I graduated with a degree in finance. So I went home. Of course, I didn't make it to the league like you did.
Oh.
So I'm gonna follow you, but I did not make it. So I was forced to, use my degree, which was fine. I didn't have any student loans. I was blessed to have a track and football scholarship, so I was able to get out of school debt free. And so I got a great paying job. I was a mortgage underwriter, earning about $50,000 plus bonus, and it was just absolutely amazing. But going from playing football to then sitting behind a desk all day, that wasn't a smooth transition. That wasn't a smooth transition. And so this lady at work actually introduced me to Herbalife, and I needed to lose some weight because I never knew much about nutrition. You know how we ate in the calf at Pine Bluff? Exactly. So I was still eating like that, but I wasn't working out 2 times a day like we were in college, and so I was gaining weight. I came to a nutrition shop just like this, but in Plano. I ended up trying my first shake. It was a butter pecan shake. I was like, man, if I can drink this and lose weight, I'm in. So I got on a program. I ended up losing 20 pounds. I gained over 25 pounds of lean muscle, and the business just fell in my lap. And it came at the perfect time because I was miserable in corporate America. Even though I was debt free, I was making great money. It was just the fact that I just felt like I was supposed to be doing more. And I saw this opportunity. I took it. I ran with it. I'm coachable, as you know, from in high school.
Pack your bags, you're going home.
Exactly. So I just remained coachable. I kept plugging into the system. And the great thing about Herbalife is that they literally tell you what to do. All you have to do is just do it. It took me 4 months to supplement my income. And then after, we like to say, I fired my boss. Woo! So, fired my boss, chunked in the deuces. And then I've been doing Herbalife full time for 5 years. I opened up N.W.A 2 years ago because I wanted to come back to Rowlett, which is where we're at now, where I went to high school, and do something positive for my community. And Chance asked me if I had a partner. I said, no. Do you want to? He said, hell yeah. I said, all right, let's do it. It was literally that simple. I found the spot. He asked me if I had a partner. I said no. Do you want to do it? He said yes. I said all right, let's do it.
So how did you guys meet? That's what I'm.
Yeah. So there's a little bit like, obviously I shared that part where I got to, I was doing Herbalife in college part-time, but then like so many were talking about like go to school to get a degree you never pay for. I graduated college. I went to college because I didn't want to be paycheck to paycheck like my parents.
Yeah.
I didn't want, my dad was out of town all the time. He missed all of our extracurriculars. And, I saw him about once every 3 weeks growing up. So I was like, I don't want that life, for my future family. And so I went to school because that's what especially a small town, that's what you're taught. Go to school, get a degree, make 6 figures.
Yeah.
Well, of course, that's not how it works out. Graduate college, go on a job interview, get offered $32,000 when I spent 5 years and $40,000 on a degree. And so I was like, man, this is not what it's all cracked up to be. And at that point, I said no thanks, but no thanks. I went full time with Herbalife and opened up a nutrition club actually in Greenville, Texas.
Okay.
About 7 years ago. That's where my business really started to take off. And spent a couple years out there, spent a year in Oklahoma, kind of just made my way back around to Plano, Texas, which is actually where we met, is at a nutrition club like this called Plano Nutrition in just down the road there. And we worked out of that nutrition club together for about a year or so because we were really doing more work from home or half and half. Started getting more into the nutrition club thing. I realized I needed to get back into the nutrition club model because that's what I originally built my multi-million-dollar business out of, was nutrition clubs. And so I was like, I need to get back to that. And he was venturing into his first nutrition club. My sister and I was actually going to go to Forney. She backed out the last minute. And that's the day before. The day he found this spot was the day she said, I don't know if this is for me right now. The next day I asked him, hey,
and can we just talk about that real quick? Because I don't want to. I love your sister. I don't know her, but I love her.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pull out something about the fear of success. How powerful is that? Because one person was afraid, another person was ready to take the jump, the grand mighty fall, if you call it. How important was it for you guys personally to feel that sort of tension? Because one thing for sure, every 2 weeks you're going to get your check. Yeah. And if not, you could sue for a whole lot more. Mm-hmm. But in this line of work, you are the boss, you are the scrub, you are the trash takeout, you are the invitation, you are the driver, you are the secure, you are all purpose. So going from just having one job to knowing how to do all 12 jobs, because y'all the owners, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all make this for me, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means y'all don't have no one working below y'all to get this done for. I put my order in directly through you. Mm-hmm. So how important is it for you guys to take that step, that leap of faith? Was there any fear in taking this route?
Well, one, it was some fear as far as like doing Herbalife as a business opportunity. So this nutrition club model is a tool to further grow your Herbalife business. So some people do Herbalife, and then some people own nutrition clubs. So it's kind of like owning two businesses, I guess you would say. So when you're an Herbalife independent distributor, that is a business. And then when you're on a nutrition club, that's like a business on top of a business. All right. So it was a leap of faith as far as doing the Herbalife opportunity and like dropping that $50,000, but the great thing about Herbalife is that I built up my income before I just jumped. Okay. So that was one thing I did. And then that was for 3 years. And then stepping out of my comfort zone to then wanting to open up a nutrition club, I knew I needed to do something different to take my business to the next level. And everybody was talking about nutrition clubs. It was my first one. And what really made me feel comfortable is when Chance asked me to partner, because I knew he had one, and he's where I want to be at in the marketing plan, or at least one of the levels ahead of me. And so I felt he made me feel more comfortable opening this up because he had experience already.
Excellent.
All right.
And so for me, that wasn't my case, for my first club. For this club, zero fear, because it was my first time to do it. My first time, though, a lot of fear, but also from the very first time I ever heard that, I could actually, go out there and build my own business, something told me that I was just going to do this until I could figure it out. And then when I went to open up that very first nutrition club, I was, real afraid because I wasn't making anything. I was making barely any money. And, so I actually, I took a big risk. I actually did something I wouldn't necessarily advise to everybody, but I went and got a debt reconsolidation loan to pay off a couple credit cards at 23 years old. and took that money, instead of paying off those cards, went and opened up a nutrition club.
All right.
Now, the thing was, that was in Greenville. I lived in Plano. It's about a 45-minute, 60-minute drive. I had an apartment in Plano, but I couldn't afford the gas to get back and forth from Greenville to that apartment. So I paid for an apartment I couldn't stay at. I'd either sleep in my car, the floor of the nutrition club, or somebody's couch for months until we could build up the income, because I wasn't making much of anything. I just knew I had to do it because I saw it as my way to not have to be stuck in the corporate world forever.
No, and bro, that story alone should speak volumes to a lot of people, because I think there's a lot of people who are miserable with what they're doing in life, but how many people have that much drive, determination, dedication to do that? I mean, you put yourself into debt, slept where you could, did what you had to do to get where you wanted to be. So can you talk to us a little bit about the vision you had in your mind that pushed you to do such extreme things?
It's kind of weird. We're talking about this. I'm getting goosebumps. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
We gonna go there.
Yeah. Honestly, it's as I think about it, it goes so far back to, just really wanting to have the vision for that life with my, family someday. Of course, I want to travel and do some different things, have a nice vehicle, all those things. But it was really the thing is time freedom. And the thing is to be able to be present with lifestyle, And so that was always the driving factor. In the beginning, it was I want to make $3,000 a month so I don't ever have to wait tables again. Then it was I want to make $5,000 a month so that I can have a little bit of lifestyle. I want to make $10,000 a month because you can do some stuff with that. That now it's just so much more about I want a residual income coming in so that whenever I want to go be with my future family or I want to travel the world, I ain't got to worry about money. Yeah. And so that was where that vision was. But I would say it all boils back down. It's funny, is you talk about things that are necessary to know, not necessary to know. And one thing is me, I showed pigs growing up. So that was y'all played ball. Yeah. That was my ball, state championship type stuff. That was what I was good at. And that was what my dad had to work all this out of town and overtime for, so he could never be at any of it. Mm-hmm. And I was that's always been the driving force for me, is to I want to be able to do that at the level that I want to do it, but able to actually be present and be able to do all those different things with a future family. And so that's always been really the subconscious motivator of the whole thing, is simply time free. I love what I do with Herbalife and these nutrition clubs, and changing lives is great, but I do it because that vision for the future. So, that's kind of what it is for me.
That's great.
Yeah, my drive was, one, it was two. So one, like I said, I joked, but I didn't make it to the league. And one reason I wanted to go to the NFL, yes, I love the game of football, but two, I wanted that lifestyle and freedom that it provided. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so whenever I went into corporate America, that was the opposite. So once I saw this opportunity, I was like, okay, this is my new NFL. I'm going to take this serious. Just like I took football practice seriously, I'm going to take this serious. The second one was my parents were/are miserable, and they all have corporate jobs. And Chance shares a story when his dad talks about it's never a positive conversation about stuff that goes on at work. Their jobs are literally affecting their health, their physical health. My mom, my dad, my stepmom. And so I didn't want to be like that, So I saw this opportunity. I'm like, okay, I can't see myself doing this for 40 more years and then retiring. That's just, I just can't do it. And then I saw this opportunity. I wanted that lifestyle and freedom. So that's the driving motor. I just wanted different for myself. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
And Eric, because me and you both kind of we're in the medical workforce. And I mean, it'd be kind of ironic for us to sit here and say that, no, fuck that. We're gonna do our own thing and we're gonna be happy. But healthcare is always gonna be there. Yeah. But that doesn't stop us from doing our own things. You have things that are on the table. I have ETO running. You're on the board of directors for that. I got my comic book published. So it's not above my head to say that one day I plan on making something that can pay the bank, but I still want to be able to go into a clinic and say, yeah, I'll save you today because I got time. Yeah. But you also want to be able to walk away and be coming from our perspective, at least as far as you're concerned, how important is time to you?
Time means a lot. See, I have a wife. That's what kind of probably makes me different from a lot of guys that I know personally, because I have a wife. I don't have any fear of walking in my job, flipping on the bird and peacing out. And if I got to struggle, I'm going to struggle until I get to where I want to be. But, once you make certain life decisions, you kind of have to put what you normally would do on the back burner and then just
Sacrifice.
you got to sacrifice the fast lane for just. I'm in the right lane of the freeway. I'm not in the left lane of the freeway. So I'm just, when I get there, I'm going to get there, because certain, I don't want to sound sexist, but, my wife expects me to provide stability. So.
All right. And just in the good nature of it. So we're here now. Let's look big picture, 5 years down the line. Like 5 years from now, where do y'all see yourselves?
Well, the goal that we had set out.
Hopefully coming back here, because I don't want no.
Yeah.
I want the show. I want the show. Get on the show again, because you got 5 years on your belt. So obviously I can roll up there.
So the goal is that we set out when we first opened up is to have 100 of these in the East Texas area. Wow. So that is the 5-year goal. And that's crazy you said 5 years, because we said 5 years we want 100 nutrition clubs in the East Texas area. So basically, Garland, Rowlett on East. We want 100 of them.
Y'all heard it here first. And that's not a. I can't even say it's a lofty goal. It's a goal that's attainable goal. Yeah, like when you say the number, but then I look at how far you guys have come in just 2 years. I was here before, and it's a whole different area when I saw it today.
The last time I was here was October of 2016. And you guys didn't even have this counter. It was like a big open space. And I remember I met you. I came in with my wife, and I met you. You guys just had a small counter, and came in, got a smoothie. And then I come back in here, I was like, it looks like a completely different place in a little over a year. It's crazy. So I know it's attainable.
And so, now, you talking to a young you, 17, 15. Get some advice. I want to hear some advice to change the life. I don't want to hear this, do your best. No, I need to know the things they need to avoid. The things that you wish you had known back then that you know today. Or whatever the verse is.
My advice is take advice from people you wouldn't mind trading places with. So if that person that you're taking advice from, if they're not in the place that you want to be, I wouldn't take their advice.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Yeah, be open to it. Don't think you already know everything.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny. It's like think about it. It's like, man, I really wish. So many different things. One, I think the whole school thing, right? Is like,
thank you.
Don't go if you don't want to go. Go. Oh, here's what I'll say: if your parents are going to pay for it, or somebody else, and you're going to party and have a fun time, do it.
Yes.
If you're paying for it, you got to take out loans. Don't do it. Unless you don't take out loans. If you want to go and pay for it, that's on you. But don't take out loans to do it. It's one of the only things you can't ever get rid of without paying them off. And but even inside of that, it's like, don't be in a hurry either. It's like, you don't have to go in and know your major day one, even year two. Like, there's no rush. Like, I listen to this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, all the time. He's always talking about, so many people that are 18 are so in a hurry to figure out their life. But the reality is we're all roughly 30 years old.
You're not going to figure shit out till 30.
Well, even if you did, or even if you messed it up, I don't feel like I couldn't start over right now and then still have an extraordinary life. It's like, so don't get in such a hurry to figure it out so soon. You probably don't have any clue. And so many people go and spend 40, 50 grand, get a degree, do it for 2 years, realize it was a terrible mistake, and now they're 50 grand in debt, hating what they do, and they don't. And then they also want to, for a lot of people, fortunately this was never me, but don't let others influence that, because you're worried about your parents or your siblings or, the town or the whatever the circumstance is.
Exactly.
That's a great point.
I wanted to ask you, do you feel like society strongly impresses upon 17, 18-year-old kids that this is the only path? You have to go to school so you can get a job and do that for 35 years until you retire. You feel like we're just continually kicking the can down the road?
Well, that's what the society teaches you. You go to school, you get a degree, you get a job. It's very rare that society says you create your own. Why can't you create your own job?
Yeah.
Why can't you create your own business? But for me personally, that I feel like that comes just from different races, honestly. Some races, they say, you got to go to school. You got to get a degree, go get a job. Some races are like, no, you go make it. You go create a job.
If you're African, you going to school and you going to go to school for a long ass time. Yes. I've been there for 8 years plus, so you better get ready. And this is advice coming from all spectrums. I got a master's degree in forensic examination, and I've gone about the country solving over 200 autopsies and getting people out of jail Like, it's all relative.
Yeah, that type of stuff you gotta go to school for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't.
But at the same time, I'm gonna validate for the brains and the nerds out there, the people that are out there, because as Dupe said, I made it to NFL and I didn't like it.
It's crazy.
I didn't like it. I knew my first year walking off the field. I remember the look my agent gave me. He's like, "You're done, aren't you?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna go another thing." And on the plane, I was like, "Yeah, he's right. It's over with for me," because it wasn't my lifestyle. I enjoy playing football because I got to play with people like him. In the NFL,
it was fun.
It was, man. Dang. In the NFL, you have no friends. You have paychecks and coaches. And best believe, if one of them don't like you, the other one will not either. So pick your battle. And just off of closing, just to wrap it up, because we're about at the mark, let's get out some social media and before actually we do that, I wanted to talk about just one thing that you believe needs to change in the health of the upcoming millennials. 33% of millennials are overweight.
Yes.
My name is Hero. I am one of those millennials. Granted, I'm 6'5", 300 pounds, but ideal weight for me, based on my demographic guess, is 280, 260. Like, that's my range. I didn't weigh that much in high school. So it's like, what is some advice you would want to give as far as health is concerned to get people moving in the right direction?
Just some beginner advice. My advice would be, if you just start your day off right, eat breakfast. Like,
good breakfast.
Yeah, good breakfast. Not coffee and a bagel, not donuts and a waffle or cereal. You want to eat something high in protein or, protein based. If you have a high protein breakfast and start your day off right, that'll just set you up for the rest of your day. That's my advice. Keep it simple. It can be a shake. It can be, eggs, bacon, and sausage and a piece of toast, or, oatmeal with some fruit or something like that. But don't skip breakfast and don't have a bad breakfast. If you can go drive through and grab it, it's a bad breakfast.
Yeah, I would. It's just our plan. It's real simple. Start your day off right, high protein breakfast, have a couple protein based snacks throughout the day. Enjoy a meal. It's not like we're health freaks or anything like that. It's like definitely go out there and enjoy it. But treat those meals as earned meals. Like do your best, stay hydrated, start your day off right. Teach yourself something. Go learn. Like go do a little research. Figure something out. There's so much information out there. Go find somebody that knows something. Because the reality is, if we're talking to somebody young, you're not going to be young forever, and the choices that you make in your younger 20s and then your 30s, like you're going to be, so many people are going to be at that ideal weight for a few years, and then all of a sudden you're not, and you're going to have a hard time. I'm so glad that I was blessed to find this lifestyle at 21. Because I forget who I was saying it to the other day. I was like, I don't understand how healthy I really am. Because so many of the people that are my age are on prescriptions. They go to the doctor and they've got, pre-diabetic, and they've got high blood pressure, and they're freaking 28 or 25. And it's just like, how is that even possible? I don't even get it. I haven't had a prescription in my adult life, so it's like, I don't understand. I've gone to the doctor twice. And
if they wanted to join up into a regimen such as Herbalife, because say for example, people like me, a lot of people believe the gym is how you lose weight.
I thought it was too.
Man. But I noticed something eternally wrong. When I played football with you, I weighed 330 pounds. Mm-hmm. That's because I was all muscle. I weigh 300, and I only lift twice a week. But I run my ass off. I go pick up. I can't play basketball to save my life, but I be on that pickup game, defensive player of the year at the rec, baby. That's me. I pass the ball under the rim. I don't care. But how important is it, diet versus gym? That's a debate that I hear all the time. What is y'all perspective?
Our philosophy is 80-20. So 80% nutrition, 20% fitness. You can't out-train a bad diet, which I know personally, going to school with you. Mm-hmm. I'm originally from Louisiana.
Fish Friday.
Exactly.
Fish Friday.
And just eating whatever you wanted, but I still never had the physique that I was, going out for. I look better now at 30 than I did from 18 to 22 when I was in college, So it's crazy. And I don't work out as hard as I did at Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
I eat way better, but, because it's your nutrition. And that's what most people don't know. They don't understand. I didn't know that until I was 23. But if you could teach that freaking in middle school or something like that, that was, the obesity rate could gradually start to go down.
Definitely.
Teaching that at a young age, Don't wait till you're,
Definitely. I always tell people this whenever I'm in clinic, because a lot of the parents will look at me and say random funny stuff to me like, I don't want to give my kid this. I don't want to give my kid that. And I'm like, your kid weighs 80% more than he's supposed to for his general age. So you're going to have to do something. And they'll yell at me for giving them medication, but they'll come in with the kid who has a toy from a Happy Meal box. So I said, until you are ready, if you're tired of me poisoning your child, I suffice, you stop poisoning your child first. But that is great. 80-20 rule, you can't go wrong with that. And let's just dive into it because we're going to be wrapping it up. Like, if somebody wanted to buy from you guys, get some of these products, how can they do that? Is there a website, card, business? I'm pretty sure we're going to put all the links below. And we're doing a special, right? We're doing a special.
So we'll do a special for N.W.A. You come into N.W.A. your first time and you mention, what is it, the identity booth?
If you download, you have to have a YouTube app. Go to Project DTO, subscribe. Show the subscribe. He checks it off.
Gotcha. You get 50% off your first time.
What?
Hey, listen.
What?
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's worth it for the key line.
For the record, that was not the agreement.
Yeah, it wasn't. You said 10%.
I said,
We'll just do 50%.
That's love.
Yeah. So 50%, you have to subscribe to the Identity Booth. Project DTO. We'll leave all the information in the description below. You guys can find us everywhere. We'll put it all there. Just come up, mention it. He might even say, just mention it. Mention it, get you through the door. So that is wonderful. We greatly appreciate that. That's going to be a wonderful tax write-off when I put in my final classes. I appreciate it. In addition, if social media wise, where do you guys? Because y'all Yelp official now, right?
We are. As of like a week or so ago.
Okay, so Yelp official. So tell us where we can find you.
So our Facebook page is N.W.A. Nutrition with Attitude. My personal Facebook page is Raymond Duplechain, and it'll be spelled out, on the podcast. And you got Chance, which is Chance Hale, right? Yeah, just Chance Hale. And then my Instagram is the Herbal Jedi Dupe Skywalker, which again I will spell out and have that on the podcast for you.
Excellent. And if the address for the location again one more time?
It's 5000 Rowlett Road, Unit 105, and that's in Rowlett, Texas 75088.
Cool. And no Twitter, no Instagram.
Yeah, no Twitter. We're actually going to create we're going to create a Instagram. And actually a Snapchat filter. So when you come in, you're checking on Snapchat.
We got the picture of the menu. We're going to put the menu up so you guys can see what to order. And if you guys are interested in getting the help, they both are more than qualified to help you with that. So please reach out. We greatly appreciate it. Eric, where can they find us?
At the Identity Booth on Instagram and on Facebook. And you can listen to us on Clear FM, Last FM, SoundCloud.
Oh, iTunes, right? We official. We on iTunes now.
Rep with the whistle.
I got the strikes on too. I'm really trying. Low key, we hit a milestone where we beat the 100. So we got the 100 beat from YouTube. So that's the love and appreciation. Last FM are now going to publish us under the African American social youth embracement, development forms. So we're going to be under the form of developing the youth. And I was like, I feel we curse a little bit, but if it can help.
But they curse too.
So they ain't seen nothing we ain't ever done. But we greatly appreciate it, guys. This has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. We got to get out the booth. I know y'all miss Deadpool in the background, but now we got N.W.A. back here. And we finally got some men. We got some men in the booth. We've had 4 guests, and it took 4 guests for us to get some males in the booth, but we're happy to have you guys here. Chance, great. Thank you so much.
Yes,
it means so much to us. And for the one time, if y'all ever have any questions, don't hesitate, man. Reach out. Their experience can be yours. I don't know how, I can't really express how important it is for me to be able to look at people my age, within my lifespan, doing what they really want to do. It speaks magnitudes, and just like when I decided to make this damn podcast with only one person watching it, and it was my mama. Now we have 400, 500 plus viewers, every episode, and that speaks volumes for what you really want to do. So from here in the booth to y'all out there in the sphere, identify with each other and always be prepared to make the sacrifices that no one else is going to make, because that's the only way you get to the top of the mountain. We got a clap sync one more time? Yeah? 3, 2, 1. Well done, guys. Damn, that was great.
I need a piece of AKA.
Hey, y'all was good. Damn.
Hey, let's get